Part 2. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 12. Finally arrived at the Sabayati archipelago. Levi and others looked at the islands in front of them with surprise. This island was the most dreamlike island Levi had ever seen. A huge mangrove grows in the middle of the island. This tree is the largest mangrove in the world, Archimon mangrove. It, Adam's tree and O'Hara's tree of omniscience are known as the three most amazing trees in the world. Countless colorful bubbles rise from the island, making the island look like a dreamy wonderland. This is the most prosperous island in the world, and Levi has specially investigated the information about this place. This island is built on 79 mangroves, which make up 79 islands. People call the archipelago of these 79 islands the Sabayati archipelago. The regional divisions of the Sabayati archipelago are also very clear. The numbers of these islands are mainly based on the numbers on the trees. Numbers 1 to 29 are illegal areas such as human trafficking shops. Number 30-39 is the amusement park. NOS 40-49 are tourist areas, selling souvenirs. Number 50-59 is where shipyards and coating workers gather. NOS 60-69 are the entry and exit points for marine and government. Numbers 70-79 are hotels and other places. The biggest feature here is the bubble culture here. Bubbles are special natural resins secreted by the roots of the Yaman mangroves due to respiration. The resin forms bubbles due to the expansion of air, and then flies into the sky to form this kind of bubbles. Unique landscape. Tetsalo had been a frequent visitor here before he became a slave. Now that he has returned to his old place, he is telling the three Hancock sisters about the various customs of the entire Sabayati archipelago. Tetsalo is a singer, and his voice is very beautiful when singing. Now Levi knows that he is also very eloquent when he is a tour guide. The three Hancock sisters were arrested when they first left Nine Snakes on a mission at the age of 12. This was the first time they saw the beauty of the outside world. The three sisters' faces were all red with excitement. They had already experienced a series of fun things such as bubble cars and bubble Ferris wheels along the way. But now they all feel that they are still unfinished, and they have even forgotten the clues to find their way home. Sabayati archipelago is a famous no-no-no zone in the entire pirate world. Here you can see a very magical phenomenon. Marines and pirates can have a drink in the same bar, unlike other places where they will fight to the death when they meet. Because of the special properties of this archipelago, it has become a famous transportation hub in the pirate world. Here you can find merchant ships bound for all parts of the pirate world. Whether you are going to the east, west, north, south or the second half of the Grand Line, as long as you have Bailey, you can find a boat here. The other human slaves had gone off to look for merchant ships to go home. These guys had made a scene in Mariejois, and each of them had plundered a large amount of wealth. Even Levi got a few gems in the palace of celestial dragons. As soon as he landed on the island, he sold one in an antique shop, and one gem was exchanged for nearly 10 million Baileys. Now they all use this wealth for food, clothing, and entertainment. As for the men of the Fishman clan, they are all under the command of the Sun Pirates now. Thanks to Tiger's trouble in Mariejois, the pirates in the entire pirate world now admire the Sun Pirates very much, so they go to wherever they go. Pirates will take the initiative to toast them, and their lives can be described as very nourishing. Of the entire Fishman pirate group, only Tiger, Jinbei, and Koala were guarding their ship. Tiger was seriously injured by Aokiji, and since his wound never healed, Jinbei refused to let him drink on the island. As for Koala, this little guy is a hybrid of human and fishman. Her existence surprised Tiger and Jinbei. Although Jinbei and Tiger advocate peaceful coexistence between humans and the Murlocs, most of the Murlocs look down on the inherently weak humans, and the humans are disgusted by the weird-looking Murlocs and feel that they are not the same species and are not the same species. They are often trafficked. Therefore, the peaceful coexistence between the human race and the fish human race is destined to be a luxury, and the mixing of human race and fish human race is even more terrifying. But Koala told them that there were many mixed race people like Koala in their village. This greatly interested Tiger and Jinbei. Therefore, they unanimously decided to send Koala to her hometown in person. They wanted to see the peaceful coexistence of humans and fish people. Ding! A new check-in task has been released. Ask host to go to Shucky's bar and talk to Rayleigh. After the task is completed, you will get Conqueror's Haki. This mission seems to be very simple. It was the first time Levi had seen such a simple task. This task was much easier to complete than the previous two tasks. Hancock, let's go find your 9 snakes contact point here. Levi saw that the 3 Hancock sisters had already visited the amusement park, so he said to them, "Ah, brother Levi, we forgot." Hancock stuck out his tongue, with an indescribable cuteness in his expression. So under the leadership of Levi, several people walked outside the amusement park. Readers, it's night again, and friends who still have flowers and evaluation votes, if you think the author's writing is good, please send flowers and evaluation votes. The old will not go and the new will not come, you are right? Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 13. The most famous intelligence dealer in Sabaody Archipelago, Levi and others learned the location of Shucky Bar from other pirates. Shaky's Rip-Off Bar. A glittering bar sign shone golden under the setting sun. Levi and others entered the bar and were surprised to find that this bar was very different from other bars. The bar was empty, not a single pirate was drinking here at all. Before nightfall, the entire Sabaody Archipelago was booked by pirates. As heroes who make a living on the sea, casinos and bars have always been their favorites. As the most prosperous transportation hub in the world, Sabaody Archipelago has an endless stream of pirates like fish crossing the river. Shucky's Bar should have the worst business on the entire island. Welcome. What would you like to drink? A sexy female voice with a hint of hoarseness sounded. Only then did Levi realize that there was a black-haired beauty sitting in front of the bar. At this moment, the beauty was looking at them with her left hand on her chin, and there was an indescribable charm in her eyebrows. If Levi hadn't known that Shucky was a pirate at the same stage as Rayleigh, she would have been chased by Garp all over the world 40 years ago, and later became an information dealer. Judging from this time, Shucky's age is at least 70 years old. But Shucky looks like she is in her early 30s at best. Time has left no trace on her face. Only when she looks at Levi, Levi can feel a trace of age in her eyes. Vicissitudes of life. Would you like a few drinks? Without waiting for Levi and others to answer, she skillfully poured a glass of ale for each of them. Is there no other wine? I like to drink stronger wine. Levi glanced at the ale and said to Shucky. The ale tastes similar to the beer Levi drank in his previous life, except that the taste is a bit bland. I'm sorry, brother Levi, my bar only has this kind of wine. This is my bar's signature drink. Its name is Heartache. Shucky winked at Levi. You know me? Levi asked in shock. He is just a newcomer with no reputation now. Unexpectedly, Shucky actually knows his name. He is worthy of being the last outstanding intelligence dealer in Sabaody Archipelago. This intelligence network is truly terrifying. As if seeing Levi's confusion, Shucky smiled and pulled out a reward ticket from under the bar and handed it to Levi. Levi took it and saw that it was his own reward order, which read, Levi the Blasphemer. Bounty of 550 million belly. The crime is extremely heinous, regardless of life or death. Levi was completely stunned. The current pirate bounty was real, unlike the later bounty for Luffy when he went to sea. The bounty in the later period was too watery. The current big pirates on the sea, except for the bounty of the 4 emperors, are not worth mentioning. Taking the hot new pirate stars as an example, the current bounty of crocodile is only 81 million belly. As for Gecko Moria, because he wants to clamor to defeat Kaido and become the new generation of 4 emperors, and he has many men, his bounty is higher than crocodile, his bounty is 320 million. Although Doflamingo is a pirate now, he has been engaged in dark industries such as smuggling arms. He has a bounty of 220 million belly. By comparing the bounties of several other rising pirate stars, you can see the horror of Levi's bounty. As expected of Boss Levi, he had such a high reward right after he debuted. Tetsura's eyes flashed, and he felt more and more that he was not following the wrong person. I got news from within Marine that Brother Levi stole something from the palace of the celestial dragons. This thing is extremely powerful and can even compete with the 4 emperors. Is it true? Shucky's the red lips parted slightly, and she revealed information that made Levi's heart tremble. That's nonsense. I have such a high bounty just because I killed a celestial dragons. Levi curled his lips. He was very disdainful of the world government's trick of killing people with a knife. Bang! Shucky was originally wiping a wine glass, but at this moment, the wine glass inadvertently slipped from his hand. The wine glass fell to the ground and was shattered instantly. As a veteran who has been in the intelligence industry for many years, she naturally knows that the secret treasures claimed by the world government are nonsense. But she didn't expect that the truth was so shocking that even she, who had been training on the sea for a long time, was shocked. I seem to have heard some amazing news. Young people nowadays are really getting more and more powerful. While Levi and others were chatting with Shucky, a male voice came from behind Levi. Levi turned around and saw that the person coming was Pluton Silver Rayleigh. He had long curly silver hair, glasses, and a scar on his right eye. Friends, a new day, a new beginning. If you have flowers and evaluation votes, please brush them up. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 14. Ding. It is detected that the host has arrived at the sign-in location and meets the sign-in conditions. The sign-in task has been completed. Now the rewards will be distributed. The moment Levi saw Rayleigh, the system's voice sounded in Levi's mind. Then an inexplicable aura came from his body. This is the Conqueror's haki rewarded by the system, but he can't control it now, and the Conqueror's haki in his body leaks out. As soon as this breath appeared, Rayleigh's expression changed. I didn't expect that. I actually saw another young man with Conqueror's qualifications. The breath was extremely weak at first, only causing the wine glass in front of him to tremble slightly, and then the vibration became larger and larger. Why do I feel like I can't breathe? Boya Sandersonia and Boya Ligadro clutched their chests and murmured to themselves. Among them, they were the weakest in strength, so they were the ones who suppressed Conqueror's haki the most. Boa Hancock also felt extremely uncomfortable, but she felt a little different from her 2 sisters. Affected by Levi's aura, she also felt that there was something indescribable in her body that was about to erupt. Out. Boom. Levi's Conqueror's haki was fully activated. Boya Sandersonia and Boya Ligadro fainted without saying a word. Shucky looked at everything in front of her with a smile, as if Levi's Conqueror's haki had no impact on her at all. Rayleigh's eyes sharpened, and a Conqueror's haki stronger than Levi's Conqueror's haki was inspired from his body, and all his Conqueror's haki pressed towards Levi. Let me see how far you can go. Rayleigh's Conqueror's haki didn't hold back at all pressing towards Levi. Tetsura and Boa Hancock were still struggling to hold on, but as soon as Rayleigh's haki pressed, Tetsura couldn't hold on anymore, and he fainted, leaving only Hancock who was still holding on. I didn't expect that this little girl has such good qualifications, but I was mistaken. Rayleigh looked at Hancock in surprise. As soon as he entered the hotel, he saw this beautiful girl. Because Hancock was young, Rayleigh subconsciously ignored her. Being pressed by Rayleigh's conqueror's haki, the board under Levi's feet broke inch by inch, and the strength of his conqueror's haki quickly became stronger. In the end, it was able to compete with Rayleigh's conqueror's haki. There will be another monster on the sea from now on. Rayleigh lamented that he had pressed all his conqueror's haki, but Levi was not at all behind. Rayleigh has been awakening conqueror's haki for decades, and his conqueror's haki is already much more powerful than it was then, but Levi has only just awakened conqueror's haki. One characteristic of people with conqueror's haki is that each of them has great courage, and the strength of conqueror's haki is closely related to courage. This is Rayleigh's experience in studying for so many years. With such a powerful conqueror's haki just awakening, Rayleigh has only met one person, and that is his captain, One Piece Gold Roger. Roger ushered in the Age of Discovery, and Levi's courage was comparable to Roger's. I don't know what kind of changes Levi could bring to the world. This little girl. Rayleigh and Levi were competing against conqueror's haki, and neither of them noticed that there was a little girl still struggling under their conqueror's haki. Shuki had been paying attention to the little girl, and even she couldn't help but be moved by her resilience. I will never fall down here, absolutely not. Hancock gritted her teeth and persisted, and then a breath burst out from her body. Although this breath was not as strong as Levi and Rayleigh, it was from the same source in terms of momentum. Another person with conqueror's haki qualifications. Rayleigh and Levi were originally competing against conqueror's haki, but suddenly a new conqueror's haki joined in. Under the induction of Chi, their conqueror's haki combined their forces to press against Hancock. Boa Hancock was pressed by the two of them, and she couldn't hold on any longer, so she fainted. I didn't expect that there are descendants of conqueror's haki on Nine Snake Island. This old guy Gloriosa is so lucky, Shuki said with envy. There is no one among 10,000 who possesses conqueror's haki. As long as they do not perish along the way, they will eventually become the strongest standing at the top of the entire world. Pluton Rayleigh, I've known you for a long time. This was Levi's first time face to face with the crew of One Piece. Perhaps it was because of Rayleigh's retirement. At this moment, Rayleigh looked like a down-and-out old man. There was no difference between him and the old man setting up a stall on the street. But an occasional light flashed under his glasses, making people dare not look down upon him in the slightest. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 15. Through the conversation with Rayleigh, Levi had a more direct understanding of his conqueror's haki. Rayleigh is worthy of being the right hand of the Pirate King. His extensive knowledge provided Levi with many suggestions for using haki. Brother Levi, what's wrong with me? While they were talking, Hancock woke up from the couch. Silly girl, you have awakened conqueror's haki, Levi said with a smile. Hancock was stunned for a moment. She had also heard the rumors about conqueror's haki, but she never thought that she was also one of the legendary ones who owned conqueror's haki. Shuki teased, from now on, you will be the next emperor of Nine Snakes. My future empress. Seeing that Hancock was still confused, Shuki explained to her, there is a rule in Nine Snakes, that is, people with conqueror's qualifications automatically become the next emperor of Nine Snakes. Hancock suddenly became at a loss. Although she will grow into an empress in the future, she is only a teenager now. Suddenly hearing that she could become the emperor, her face suddenly turned red. Hancock, the people from Nine Snakes will come to the Sabayati archipelago once every 6 months. They came once 3 months ago. I'm afraid you have to wait here for 3 months, Rayleigh said to Hancock gently. He also has a good impression of this little girl who has awakened conqueror's haki. 3 months, Levi frowned. 3 months was too long, and the Sabayati archipelago was too close to the residence of the celestial dragons. Levi killed the celestial dragons. He didn't believe that the celestial dragons would swallow this breath. According to the urine of the celestial dragons, they would definitely send Admiral to kill him. Although Levi's current physical skills are very powerful, because he doesn't know observation haki and armament haki, he has nothing to do against the 3 Logia fruit admirals. The reason why Logia demon fruit power is called the strongest among the 3 systems is because they can hollow their bodies. Unless you practice armament haki, no matter how strong your physical skills are, there is nothing you can do to them. Levi remembered that Marine Admiral Kizaru came to the Sabayati archipelago after Luffy knocked one of the celestial dragons away. After some smooth operations, Luffy and the other 11 pirate supernovas were defeated. Although Rayleigh is strong, his combat power can only compete with 1 admiral at most. If Marine sends 2 admirals, his situation will be in danger. Levi killed a celestial dragons. According to the urine properties of celestial dragons can definitely do such a thing. Ding! A new check-in mission has been released. Escort Boa Hancock to 9 Snake Island. Reward, Armament Haki. At this moment, the sound of the system sounded in Levi's ears again. Levi was overjoyed when he heard this. He really wanted to use the pillow when he felt sleepy. Levi was originally planning to shamelessly ask Rayleigh to let Rayleigh teach him haki, but it seems that he won't have to do that now. No, I will escort Hancock myself. Since the system asked him to go to 9 Snake Island to sign in, he would go to 9 Snakes himself. 9 Snake Island, also known as Daughter Island Amazon Lily, is an island where only women live, and they all have a snake on their body. These snakes have the ability to transform into weapons. This island is located in the Calm Belt on the Grand Line. There is a huge Poseidon in the Calm Belt, and there are many beasts on the islands around 9 Snake Island. It is a good place to train haki. Levi remembers the Toll and Rayleigh. Special training took place near 9 Snake Island for 2 years. Okay, this is Hydra's permanent pointer. Shucky didn't say much, she threw a Hydra permanent pointer to Levi. Rayleigh continued, tomorrow a king from a franchised country will return to his country. I have some friendship with him. It will save you a lot of trouble if you take the franchised winter ship. In that case, then I thank you. Levi bowed to Rayleigh and Shucky to express his gratitude. Thank you so much. Hancock and her 2 sisters also expressed their gratitude to Mr. and Mrs. Rayleigh. Brother Levi, you still haven't paid for Juju drinks. Chinjui is 5 million Baileys. Shucky's voice came from the bar just as Levi was about to go out. Levi was so frightened by her words that he dropped 5 million Baileys and ran away. He finally understood why these ordinary ales were called heartache. A glass of 10 belly ale sells for 1 million belly. She is really a profiteer. No wonder she doesn't have a single drinker here. Early the next morning, Levi and the others boarded the ship of the franchising country that Rayleigh had found and headed for 9 Snakes Island. However, he did not notice that there were several sneaky men in black who had been staring at him. Every move. Sir, Levi has left Sabayati Archipelago. Very well, let CP9 deal with them, a figure in the darkness said. Then everything went silent again. Friends, today's data has not increased. If you have flowers and evaluation votes, please send me a message, thank you. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 16. The ship Levi took was a large 3-mast ship. The ship was divided into 4 floors. The top 3 floors were the residence of the king and his 500 guards, and the bottom floor was the warehouse. I don't know if it's because the king likes to buy specialties or something else, but the entire cargo hold of the big ship is filled with goods purchased from Mariejois. I'm so angry. This king is so arrogant. Hancock couldn't help complaining after returning to the room specially arranged for them. Levi couldn't help but feel amused when he saw Hancock's coquettish look. The king was a fat man who was out of breath when he walked. Levi and the others didn't take any notice of him when they greeted him. Sister, calm down. Her 2 younger sisters hurriedly pulled Hancock. After leaving Mariejois, Hancock finally slowly returned to her true nature. Now Hancock looks like a living little girl. Although Hancock was very kind to Levi in the past, Levi lacked a bit of popularity after all. Okay, let's have a good rest. Marine probably won't do anything on the ships of the participating countries. Levi patted Hancock's little head and said. Hancock was originally losing her temper, but after being touched by Levi, she immediately turned into a docile kitten. Okay, I understand. Brother Levi also needs to rest early, Hancock replied. As night fell, Levi and the others were finally able to have a good sleep after a long period of running around. No one noticed that a black shadow floated onto the ship quietly along with the dark clouds. This black shadow is extremely fast and silent. Soldiers one after another followed the shadow and fell on the path of the shadow. As the sound of the ship became quieter and quieter, the faint smell of blood filled the entire ship. Tap, step. The sound of leather shoes suddenly woke Levi up. He felt a little uneasy in his heart. He felt that there was a huge malice coming towards him. No, something happened. Levi suddenly smelled a faint smell of blood, and he knew something was wrong outside. Levi called the other people up, and they slowly came to the deck following the traces of blood, and then they were shocked by the sight in front of them. Oh my God! Hancock's pupils narrowed sharply, and her little mouth opened in shock. The other people were not much better than them. On the deck of the ship, the bodies of almost all the guardsmen were gathered here. At the top of the pile of corpses, there was a young man in a black suit standing against the moon. The young man's face was calm. He had neither the anger of killing nor the joy of victory in battle. But it is this kind of person who is the scariest. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Rob Lucci, and I am a member of World Government CP9. The young man unbuttoned the top button of his suit. Levi's eyebrows jumped heavily. This person is known as the strongest and most ruthless killing weapon in CP9 history, and is known as the strongest person in an ice lobby in 800 years. Levi suddenly remembered something. When Lucci was 13, a kingdom that was one of the world government's participating countries was invaded by pirates. 500 soldiers of the kingdom were defeated and captured. The pirates used the 500 soldiers to threaten the king. The world government sent Lucci to solve the problem. Lucci sneaked into the warehouse where the 500 soldiers were held and killed all 500 soldiers by one person. Allied countries, 500 soldiers. Levi couldn't help but have an absurd feeling in his heart. Could this be Rob Lucci's battle to become famous? Levi, you are a sinner who dares to blaspheme celestial dragons, just die. After Rob Lucci said this, he turned into a black shadow and rushed towards Levi. Finger pistol. Tempest kick. Lucci instantly hit Levi's body dozens of times, but he felt as if his attack hit an iron plate, and his fingers were sore from the shock. Your attack is a bit weak, little brother. Levi stood there, looking at the surprised Lucci and teasingly said, you seem to be incapable of practicing the 6 styles. What are you, iron body? As a leader in 6 style cultivation, he naturally also recognizes the moves Levi used just now. It was the iron body among the 6 postures, but Levi's iron body had been practiced to a level far beyond Lucci's cognition. Shave. Shave. Levi and Lucci moved at the same time, but Levi was much faster than Lucci. Although he tried his best to avoid it, Levi's ruthless iron fist still hit him. Iron body. Paper arts. Moonwalk. Lucci tried his best to get around him, but Levi's fist still punched him in the back one after another. Little brother, you're useless. You can't stand it after only 5 punches, Levi teased Lucci, who was bleeding from his mouth and nose. Levi has never been so angry. Although these soldiers have a bad attitude towards them, they are still living human lives. They were also members of the government-affiliated countries, and they never imagined that they would die at the hands of their colleagues. Lucci, Whether you die or not depends on your destiny. Levi looked at the sharks swimming under the boat and said to Lucci, "These are all sharks attracted by Lucci's killing." Boom! With a splash of water, Lucci was thrown into the sea by Levi. "Due to the influence of pneumonia, I haven't left home for a week. Maybe I have been holding it in for a long time. I feel dizzy and out of shape today. I didn't write well today. I will reflect on it." Finally, I shamelessly asked for a few monthly passes, some evaluation votes, and a few flowers. Thank you, author. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 17. The calm belt is ahead, we're almost home. Hancock couldn't help but feel happy when she looked at the calm sea in front of her. She had dreamed of the scene countless times in her dreams, and now it was finally becoming a reality. As the ship entered the calm belt, the three-mast ship suddenly lost speed. Since all the soldiers on the ship had been slaughtered by Lucci, they did not have enough manpower to row the boat, so they had to abandon the big ship and row a small boat forward. It was almost noon. In the blink of an eye, and the originally calm sea suddenly began to have rough waves. The boat of Levi and others was constantly bumping. "Run away, the Sea Kings are coming out." Hancock's beauty suddenly turned pale. Judging from the movement in this area, there should be a big guy below. Ouch! A deep, muffled sound sounded from the bottom of the sea, and then the ship of Levi and others was pushed up by an object. Ah! Hancock and others let out a long scream, and then their boat slid down the sky like a roller coaster. A dark blue rough skin loomed under the sea. The boat of Levi and others slid above the sea, and they suddenly felt that the sky suddenly turned gray. A sea king with a crocodile head and a long neck was staring at them with a pair of blood-red eyes. Looking at the sea kings in front of him, Levi suddenly had a bold idea in his mind. Calm belt is the domain of sea kings. In addition to Marine's newly developed technology of inlaying sea stone on the bottom of warships, the entire calm belt was open to Marine. As for the others, as far as Levi knew, only Rayleigh swam across the calm belt. Only sea kings can deal with sea kings. Levi said to Tetsara, "Protect them, they are all demon fruit power and cannot fall into the water. I will deal with the sea kings." After speaking, Levi walked towards the Sea King's head on moonwalk. Sea King saw this little bug scurry up, and it was about to roar, but before it could open its mouth, Levi saw a flash in his eyes, and he swung his fist towards the Sea King's head with all his strength. Boom! Sea King's head was directly blown open by Levi, and then his headless body fell into the sea, causing huge waves, and the entire sea surface was quickly dyed red. The death of the Sea King kicked off the chaos, and huge heads were revealed one after another on the surface of the sea. These Sea Kings were all fighting for the body of the dead Sea King. "You are the one." Levi took a fancy to a Sea King's. This Sea King's had a dark golden head and looked very hacky. Tempest kick. Levi's feet kicked out semicircular air blades one after another. The Sea Kings fighting for food were cut into small pieces one after another by Levi's attacks, leaving only the dark golden Sea Kings standing there. "Eat together." Gah! After taking a few greedy bites of the dark golden Sea Kings, he finally discovered the weirdness of the entire scene. At this moment, his eyes were fixed on Levi, and there was still a trace of fear in his eyes. Then the Sea Kings dived quickly to escape. Where to run? Levi let out a loud shout, and then he jumped on top of the Sea Kings, and then followed the Sea Kings into the bottom of the sea. Hancock and others watched the sea surface continue to surge, and at the same time, the Sea Kings roared in pain. After a long time, the dark golden Sea Kings resurfaced on the sea surface again, but its current image was completely different from the previous one. Its entire body shape was 3 times thicker than before, and its pair of big eyes, there is only a gap left now. "Brother Levi, it's great that you're okay," Hancock saw Levi standing majestically on the head of the Sea Kings, so she jumped to Levi's side excitedly. Levi entered the sea with Sea Kings just now, which shocked Hancock. Although she knew Levi would be fine, she was still worried. "Okay, everyone, put everything on the boat onto the Sea Kings. Let's take the Sea Kings to Nine Snakes Island," Levi shouted, standing on top of the Sea Kings. "Idiot! Lower it a little." Levi stomped his foot dissatisfied, and the Sea Kings roared in pain, and then its body slowly sank, and finally his body landed above the sea. What a monster of a man to be able to subdue the Sea Kings! Teezero looked at the huge Sea Kings and was filled with emotion. It was the first time for him that someone could defeat the Sea Kings with his own flesh and blood. I am afraid that Levi's monster-like physique would soon catch up with Kaido among the four emperors. Set off. Levi glanced at the permanent pointer, and then ordered the Sea Kings with high spirits. No wonder so many people flock to the sea. This feeling is really exciting. Idiot, this is not the direction. Levi's scolding came, and then Sea Kings screamed in pain. Under the afterglow of the setting sun, the Sea Kings finally disappeared on the sea. The data received yesterday was not ideal, and today is a new day. Please give me flowers and comments. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 18. Grandma Gloriosa sighed again. On the beach of Nine Snake Island, the Emperor of Nine Snakes sat on the beach for another day. When night fell, she returned to the palace in disappointment. She heard the guards talking, and they all thought she was crazy, but none of them knew the torment in her heart. "You must come back safely, Hancock," Gloriosa thought to herself. Since Shucky talked to her on the phone bug, he told her that the three Boya sisters who were abducted by human traffickers 3 years ago came to Shucky for help, and among them was a person with Conqueror's qualifications. Grandma Gloriosa was overjoyed when she heard this. It had been a long time since Nine Snake Island had descendants with Conqueror's qualifications, and now they were about to come back. "What is that?" One of the guards keenly discovered that there was a large shadow in the sea moving quickly towards Nine Snake Island. "Protect Granny Gloriosa." Following the guard leader's loud shout, the long snake around her waist instantly turned into a long bow, and the rest of the guards aimed their bows and arrows towards the sea. "No, it's a Sea Kings, everyone is ready to retreat." When the Sea Kings approached, the guards were shocked. Although everyone among the Nine Snakes warriors practiced armament haki, it was still too reluctant for them to deal with this behemoth. "Why are there Sea Kings coming here? There have been no Sea Kings near my Nine Snakes Island for nearly 100 years." Gloriosa's brows knitted together deeply. "Sisters of Nine Snakes, I am Hancock, I'm back." Hancock saw the shadowy figures on the coast, so she shouted excitedly. "Hancock? The Hancock who disappeared 3 years ago." The guards started talking one after another. Hancock was the heir trained by Nine Snakes, but she disappeared with her sister the first time she went to sea. Granny Gloriosa's face suddenly became happy. "Hancock, good boy, you are finally back." Before the sea beast could reach the shore, Hancock and her 2 sisters rushed towards the shore on the moonwalk. This is what Levi taught them. They are indeed the geniuses of Nine Snakes. They learned Marine 6 styles in a short period of time. The 3 Hancock sisters hugged Granny Gloriosa and the guard leader and cried uncontrollably. "Children, you have suffered. Don't worry, as long as you return to Nine Snakes, you will be safe, and you will never suffer the slightest grievance again." Grandma Gloriosa kept comforting her. Ding! It is detected that the host has completed the sign-in task, and the rewards will be distributed now. As the sound of the system sounded, various insights about armament haki emerged in Levi's mind, and Levi mastered armament haki in an instant. Tetsalo glanced at Levi curiously. Although Levi was standing here, Tetsalo felt that Levi had become stronger again. "Hancock, I heard that you have awakened Conqueror's haki," Granny Gloriosa asked, with a hint of trembling in her voice. Although she said she got the news from Shucky, she still felt uneasy without verifying it herself. Hancock glanced at Levi, and when she saw Levi nodded to her, she turned around and came to Granny Gloriosa. Hancock's eyes were sharp, and her aura suddenly changed, and an inviolable aura emerged from her body. Granny Gloriosa and others felt a pressure on their hearts, and one guard after another fell down. Hancock, it's okay. Levi patted Hancock's shoulder gently, and Hancock took back her conqueror's haki. It's really conqueror's haki. 9 snakes, are about to rise. Mother-in-law Gloriosa's face flushed with excitement. When she saw Levi acting close to Hancock, her brows immediately furrowed. Let her go. The rest of the guards also aimed their bows and arrows at Levi. Young man, men are not allowed to set foot on 9 Snake Island. Since you are the one who sent Hancock back, I don't care. You can leave quickly, Gloriosa said. Leave quickly. The rest of the guards roared together. Levi is my husband, who dares to drive him away? Hancock had a slight blush on her face, and then she took Levi's hand in front of everyone in 9 Snakes. Hancock, you. Mother-in-law Gloriosa was also speechless. All the emperors of 9 Snakes Island were single, and none of them had ever looked for a man as blatantly as Hancock. Grandma Gloriosa advised, Hancock, don't mess around. This is the ancestral motto of our 9 Snakes for hundreds of years. In that case, Brother Levi and I will go together, and you can choose another emperor. Before Granny Gloriosa could finish speaking, Hancock pulled Levi and prepared to leave. Grandma Gloriosa felt a headache. Hancock had left 9 Snake Island for 3 years, and she didn't have that much sense of belonging to 9 Snakes at all. It just so happens that this little girl is the only one in Kyoji who owns Conqueror's haki. Okay. Let's make an exception and let the two of them go to 9 Snakes Island, Granny Gloriosa compromised. The data is a bit miserable, please give me more flowers and evaluation votes. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 19. Look, it's a man. Man, these men are so handsome. Look, their chests are so flat. On the way to the 9 Snakes Palace, the women of the 9 Snakes Island heard that men had come to the island, so the women of the entire 9 Snakes Island surrounded Levi and Tizalo and pointed. Guest, please come with me. The two receptionists of 9 Snakes took Levi and Tizalo to 9 Snakes Palace. Although 9 Snakes team Levi and Tizalo were very dissatisfied when they entered the land of 9 Snakes, they still couldn't defeat Hancock. After a feast of wine and food, Levi and Tetsalo were arranged to rest. But I have to say that although the old woman and the long-legged guard were unhappy with Levi, the other girls on 9 Snake Island had no ill intentions. Groups of 9 Snake girls looked at Levi and Tizaro curiously, which made Levi feel like Tang Monk entering the land of daughters. Sir, this is the hot spring pool, please take a bath. The maid led Levi to a place where the smoke was warm and slowly withdrew. Although the women from 9 Snakes are annoying, I have to say that their etiquette is still very thorough, and they even have 2 bathrooms arranged. It's really comfortable. Levi was lying in the 100 square meter bathroom, with the hot spring water gently washing his skin, making him feel so comfortable that he closed his eyes. No wonder so many people want to be rich. This feeling of luxury is so great, Levi felt so comfortable that he almost wanted to moan. Wow! At this moment, he seemed to hear something moving in the hot spring, and his heart began to beat unsatisfactorily. Is it Hancock? I didn't expect that I, Levi, have such charm, and that there is such a charming and lovely beauty taking the initiative to throw myself at him. Deliver newspapers. Baby Hancock, is that you? Levi said with a wicked smile. Ahem. I disappoint you, I am Gloriosa. An old voice suddenly woke Levi up. Mother-in-law, I'm taking a shower, don't come over. Levi hurriedly pulled the towel next to him and covered his body. As soon as he put on his bathrobe, the old woman walked in. Gloriosa didn't speak. She just stared at Levi without speaking. Levi was stunned by her gaze. What a strong young man. No wonder Hancock's little girl is fascinated by you. Isn't it, Hancock? Gloriosa's voice suddenly rose a few degrees. Mother-in-law, why do you say that to me? Hancock emerged from the hot spring. At this moment, she was wearing a red swimsuit. This swimsuit brought out her graceful figure. At this moment, she was exposed by Granny Gloriosa, and I was so ashamed that I felt ashamed. Ignore you. Hancock ran out of the hot spring with his hands covering his burning cheeks. Xiaonazai, every move you make is invisible to my observation Haki, so don't waste your efforts. Mother-in-law Gloriosa's voice reached Hancock's ears, and she ran faster. Levi felt that a great opportunity was far away from him, and for a moment he looked at Gloriosa with an extremely evil look. Young man, let's talk. Gloriosa seemed not to see Levi's eyes, and walked out of the hot spring after she finished speaking. Levi also quickly put on his clothes and followed Gloriosa outside. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Gloriosa, old lady. I am the former emperor of Amazon Lily. Old lady, I was also known as the most beautiful woman in the world. Speaking of this, Gloriosa seemed to think of her previous glory again, and even her smile became extraordinarily gentle. Then she recounted her past deeds. It turned out that Gloriosa's mother-in-law was also a fashionista when she was young. In order to pursue her love, she took the initiative to wander on the sea. 9 snakes women cannot have love. This is 9 snakes rules, so she was expelled from 9 snakes. Later, because 9 snakes' successor was too unbearable, she died during a robbery, and the entire 9 snakes were immediately leaderless. There was no one with enough prestige in the entire 9 snakes to succeed the emperor, so Gloriosa returned to take charge of the overall situation. Old lady, I've met countless people in my life. I can tell that you are definitely an ambitious person, and you also have the power to realize your ambition. Since ancient times, beauties have always had a bad fate, and the women around heroes always have a bad end. Gloriosa looked at Levi and spoke her mind to Levi. Levi was originally very annoyed by this old woman, but now he really understands this person. She is dedicated to the development of the entire 9 snakes, and she is the real strong person. Grandma Gloriosa, don't worry, no matter what happens, I will never let Hancock down in this life, Levi assured Grandma Gloriosa and bowed deeply. That way, I'll feel relieved. Old lady mother-in-law Gloriosa walked away tremblingly. After Granny Gloriosa walked away, Levi used the highest level of shaving and headed towards Hancock's bedroom. It is more than words. It was banned for the first time. This is a rewritten chapter. Readers, I will give you what you want. I should also give you the flowers and evaluation votes I want. It has been 2 days, and there are almost no flowers and evaluation votes. How to move? Finally, I want to say, please give me flowers, monthly tickets, and evaluation votes. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 20. Hancock, come with me to practice in the forest. Levi woke up Hancock early the next morning. At this moment, Hancock was still too shy to open his eyes and just nodded lightly in response. Boss Levi, you go and practice. I will practice on 9 Snakes Island. To Levi's surprise, Tezzero was unwilling to practice with them. It's better to practice in 9 Snakes. After all, who can bear to be fed dog food every day? Gloriosa casually came to the side with a magical finishing blow. Hancock's face suddenly turned red to the roots of his ears. Since Grandma Gloriosa's words had gone so far, Levi couldn't say anything more, so he took some daily necessities and went to the forest with Hancock to practice. In Levi's previous life, Levi had a crush on Hancock, the most beautiful woman in the pirate world. As a Shichibukai, the Empress seemed to be the weakest. Now Hancock is Levi's woman, how could Levi allow this to happen? He plans to hone his armament haki in this forest. As a member of 9 Snakes, Hancock also has the inheritance of 9 snakes about armed colors. The two of them practicing together can promote Hancock's practice. Levi told Hancock all about the way he developed the sweet fruit in his previous life. He planned to let Hancock specialize in kicking skills. After all, Hancock had a pair of naturally long legs and couldn't let them go to waste. While Levi was practicing, a news came from the world government that made everyone uneasy. The world government will select 7 privileged pirates as the government's spokesperson among the pirates. The spokesperson must have catastrophic destructive power and huge combat power that rivals the country. Only those with high reputation or high combat power can only the pirates who scare the pirate gang may be selected as Shichibukai. As the government's spokesman, Shichibukai has legal rights to plunder. This news immediately made all the pirates go crazy. The reason why the pirates went to sea was for 2 reasons. One was for fame, and the other was for profit. As long as they become Shichibukai, everything they want will be available to them. What on earth were the 5 elders thinking? Sengoku roared angrily in his office. Sengoku has been catching pirates on the sea for 50 or 60 years, and he has been running on the sea all his life. From the pirate overlord Rox, to the later pirate King Roger, and then to the 4 emperors in front of him, he knows the virtues of a pirate better than the 5 elders. Most of the pirates are greedy people, and there are many ambitious people among them. If Shichibukai is opened, I am afraid that Marine will sit back and watch the rise of 7 weakened versions of the 4 emperors. This is a bad idea that couldn't be worse. Garp, stop eating senbei in the office. Think of a way, Sengoku growled. This is an order from above. What can I do? I'd better eat senbei. Today, I will challenge to eat all the senbei in one bite. As soon as Garp finished speaking, he took the pack of senbei in his arms. He poured it into his mouth, and Garp choked and rolled his eyes. You are such an old person. Staff officer, he handed Garp a glass of water angrily and rolled his eyes at him. As a partner for many years, she was also speechless about Garp's weird personality. What do you think? Garp asked the 3rd admiral sitting next to him. Don't ask me, Marshal Sengoku, I will do whatever you say. Kizaru spread his hands with an innocent look on his face. What did you say just now? I'm sorry, I fell asleep just now. Aokiji moved his blindfold on his head with an innocent look on his face. Pirates are the embodiment of evil, and they must all be eliminated, Akainu said simply, and at the same time, to show his determination, lava was rising from his fist, and he smashed the table in front of him with one punch. My mahogany furniture, Sengoku's heart bleeds with pain. This is a huge mahogany wood that he spent a lot of effort to obtain. The furniture in his office is all made of that mahogany wood. For a moment, Sengoku was heartbroken. Self. Zaihi, tell me what you think. As Marine Staff Officer, Vice Admiral Crane has always been Marine's think tank. Most of Marine's policies include Crane's staff. Hearing Sengoku ask her, Crane Vice Admiral pondered for a moment and said, this is an order personally given by the 5 elders. We cannot change it at all. All we can do is to try to select some people with low ambitions and strong strength to inherit Shichibukai. At the same time, guard against some ambitious people. That's all it can do, Sengoku said with a headache. Although the top management of Marine was very troubled by this, the pirates were happy. One by one, pirates began to focus on the position of Shichibukai. For their own reputation, countless pirates began to make trouble on the sea and caused horrific tragedies one after another. The entire marine system was overwhelmed. Readers, don't hide it. If you have flowers, evaluation tickets, or monthly tickets, go for it. the data has not been moved for 2 days, and I feel like my mentality is about to collapse. The author fell on his knees with tears in his eyes and begged for everything. Pirates, check-in from Mariejois. Author, rock_candy_strawberry. Chapter 21. Among them, this year's pirate supernova has become the benchmark for all pirates. What is Shishibukai? Lao Zi is going to defeat Kaido and become the Four Emperors. Moria tore the newspaper into pieces with a grin. Yes, our boss is going to be the man of the Four Emperors. Moria's men all started making noises. Moria is the one with the most followers in this generation, and his warship is also the largest in history. Therefore, as soon as he arrived in Mariejois, he received double attention from the marine and world governments, as well as the pirates. Shishibukai. Lao Zi is the man who wants to kill Whitebeard and eventually become the pirate king. Crocodile lit a cigar and took a comfortable puff, then he narrowed his eyes comfortably. He is currently the only one among the pirates who possesses the Logia devil fruit. Logia devil fruit is known as the strongest devil fruit. In addition, Marine's current 3 admirals are all Logia's devil fruit, which gives him unparalleled confidence. Because even Four Emperors Whitebeard is the devil fruit of Paramecia, and he does not have a devil fruit of Logia under his command. This is an opportunity. This is a good opportunity for us to return to Dressrosa. Right, Corazon, Doflamingo, wearing a pink flamingo coat, smiled at the person next to him who was wearing clown makeup. The young man in a black coat next to him also opened his mouth and laughed. Although he looked smiling, there was no sound coming out, and he looked extremely horrified. But master, how can we become Shishibukai? Torrible sniffed hard and then brought his big head closer to Doflamingo and said. I made a deal with world government. I found op fruit for world government, and they made me a Shishibukai. Now op fruit has a clue. Doflamingo's body was slightly away from Torribo. I'm a little further away. Op fruit, the op fruit that is said to be worth 5 billion Baileys. Torrible was surprised. The young master's methods became more and more sophisticated, and he could even get this rare fruit. Corazon's expression moved slightly, and the corners of his mouth raised slightly 5 degrees, but now everyone was immersed in the news of op fruit, and no one noticed anything unusual about Corazon. But the top priority now is to improve our family's reputation. Our Don Quixote family has been silent for too long, and we also need to let the world know our reputation. What are you going to do, Dover? Toripole asked. Take out that fruit, and I will hold an auction that will be known to the whole world, so that the whole world will know the energy and financial resources of our Don Quixote family. Doflamingo ordered Torble. What? Young master, are you going to auction the golden fruit? That fruit is no worse than the op fruit, Torrible said in horror. Originally, the golden fruit was a devil fruit reserved for Doflamingo family leaders, but everyone in the Doflamingo family has demon fruit power. Now the only ones without the fruit are Logo and Delin, who is still a 3-year-old child. J. Logo died of lead platinum disease at an unknown time. After all, lead platinum disease is now considered an incurable terminal disease in the world. And Dellinger is too young. Now Jorah is unwilling to let Dellinger eat devil fruit. Dellinger is a hybrid of fishman and human race. If he can't swim, then the price seems a bit cruel to him. Jorah was Dellinger's adoptive mother, and they couldn't say anything, so the devil fruit was shelved. The reason why this fruit is special is that it can control gold, which is hard currency everywhere. If this fruit can be awakened, then the owner of this fruit will have endless wealth in the entire world. Yes, young master, this fruit is too important to us, we can't sell it. Pika and others also echoed Doflamingo. Obviously they all know the importance of this fruit to them. Don't worry, I don't want to sell this fruit. Only this devil fruit with enough weight can attract the attention of the whole world. No matter how much the competitors offer, we will be higher than them. In this way, we the family will be known to the whole world, and we will become famous. Doflamingo explained to them with a smile. What if someone bids higher than us? At this moment, Jorah asked in a very embarrassing way. Doflamingo looked at her deeply and said, celestial dragons are not interested in devil fruit except op fruit. Among the 4 emperors, Kaido is only interested in Zoan's devil fruit. As for others, I don't believe that except celestial dragons and 4 emperors, there are people in the entire world who are richer than our family. Let Big News Morgan spread this news as soon as possible, give him a large sum of money, and I will make this news spread all over the world within 3 days. As Doflamingo's voice fell, the entire Doflamingo family immediately took action. Everyone, please give me flowers and evaluation votes.